There's a version of you that was formed before you had any say in it. Before you understood what love was supposed to feel like. Before you had words for what was missing. And that version of you, that small, quiet, waiting version, is still making decisions in your life right now. Most people never trace it back. They just wonder why intimacy feels unsafe. Why success never feels like enough. Why someone can look them in the eyes and say, "I love you," and something inside them goes cold. They assume it's just who they are. They don't realize it's who they had to become. Here's what nobody tells you about childhood emotional neglect. It doesn't always look like abuse. It doesn't always come with a dramatic story. Sometimes it's a parent who was physically present, but emotionally gone. Sometimes it's a house that had food on the table, but no room for your feelings. Sometimes it's being told to stop crying. Being called too sensitive. Being loved, but only when you were convenient. That's the kind of wound that doesn't leave bruises. It just leaves silence where something should have been. And that silence? It doesn't stay in the past. It follows you into your friendships, your relationships, your self-worth, your nervous system. In this video, we're going to go somewhere most psychology content is afraid to go. Not just the symptoms. The architecture of it. How a child's unmet emotional needs get quietly reconstructed into adult behaviors that look normal on the surface but are screaming underneath. Think about one relationship in your life right now. Romantic, friendship, family, doesn't matter. Does it feel safe? Or does some part of you keep waiting for it to fall apart? Hold that thought. Because what we're about to unpack might change how you see everything. Here's something that will sit with you. The human brain is not built for pain. It's built for survival. And when a child grows up in an environment where love is absent, or worse, unpredictable, the brain doesn't just feel hurt. It adapts. It starts building walls, systems, and silent rules to protect the child from ever being caught off guard again. And those walls? They don't come down when you turn 18. They come with you. The first thing that gets rewired is your sense of safety and connection. When love was inconsistent growing up, given one day, withdrawn the next, your nervous system learned something dangerous. It learned that closeness is risk. So now, as an adult, the moment someone gets too close, the moment a relationship starts to feel real, something in you pulls back. Not because you don't want love. Because your body remembers what happened the last time you needed it. Does that resonate with you? Drop a comment. Tell me where you're from and if this hits close to home. The second rewiring is quieter and honestly, more painful. It's the way you talk to yourself. Children who weren't emotionally loved don't grow up thinking, "My parents failed me." They grow up thinking, "Something is wrong with me." Because that's the only explanation a child's mind can process. A child cannot hold their parent accountable. So they hold themselves responsible instead. And that internalized voice? It becomes your inner critic. The one that says you're too much. Not enough. Hard to love. You didn't choose that voice. But you've been living by its rules ever since. And here's the brutal part, that voice doesn't sound like cruelty. It sounds like truth. Which is why so many people go through their entire lives performing, shrinking, overachieving, disappearing, all in service of a story that was written about them before they were old enough to argue with it. But a story written about you is not a story by you. And the moment you understand that distinction, something starts to shift. We're not done yet. Because the deepest effect, the one that quietly destroys the most relationships, is still coming. There's a pattern nobody talks about. And it might be the most heartbreaking one. People who grew up without consistent emotional love, they don't just struggle to receive love. They unconsciously recreate the environments that hurt them. Not because they're broken. Not because they're weak. But because the nervous system seeks what is familiar, even when familiar means painful. So you find yourself drawn to emotionally unavailable people. You work harder in relationships where the other person is cold. You feel strangely comfortable with those who keep you guessing, and almost bored by those who are consistently kind. That's not a character flaw. That's a nervous system trying to finally win a game it lost in childhood. And until you name it, it runs you. Think about the relationships that have hurt you most. Was there a pattern? A type of person? A familiar dynamic? You don't have to answer out loud. But sit with that for a moment. Because awareness, real awareness, is where everything begins to change. And here's something even deeper. When emotional love is absent in childhood, you don't just lose warmth. You lose your reference point for what safe feels like. So as an adult, you don't recognize safety when it arrives. You mistake peace for boredom. You mistake consistency for lack of passion. You mistake a genuinely good person for someone who must be hiding something, because in your experience, nobody was ever just good without a catch. This is one of the quietest tragedies of emotional neglect. It doesn't just affect how you love others. It corrupts the lens through which you experience being loved. And so you keep searching. Never quite landing. Never quite trusting. Always waiting for the other shoe to drop. If that's you, if you've spent years feeling like love is something that exists for other people but somehow slips through your fingers, I want you to hear this clearly. That is not your destiny. That is your conditioning. And conditioning can be unlearned. Not overnight. Not without discomfort. But it can be unlearned. The brain, even an adult brain, has something called neuroplasticity. The capacity to form new patterns, new responses, new ways of feeling safe. Every time you choose to stay in a conversation that feels vulnerable instead of shutting down, you're rewiring. Every time you let yourself need something and ask for it, you're rewiring. Every time you sit with kindness instead of pushing it away, you're rewiring. Healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's just choosing differently. One quiet moment at a time. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention. The relationship you have with yourself. Because here's the thing, when nobody modeled what emotional safety felt like, you didn't just lose the ability to trust others. You lost the ability to trust yourself. Your own emotions started to feel like the enemy. Your own needs started to feel like weaknesses. Your own intuition got buried under years of telling yourself, don't be too much. Don't ask for too much. Don't feel too much. And so you became an expert at managing yourself down. Shrinking yourself into whatever shape felt most acceptable. Most lovable. Most safe. But here's the painful irony in that. The more you shrink, the more invisible you become. And the more invisible you become, the more alone you feel. Even in rooms full of people. Even in relationships. Even when someone is right next to you, reaching for your hand. You are there, but you are not there. Does that make sense? That feeling of being present but unreachable, even to yourself, that is one of the deepest fingerprints of a childhood where your inner world was never truly witnessed. And witnessing, being truly seen, is not a luxury. It is a fundamental human need. As essential as food. As essential as shelter. When it's withheld from a child, they don't just feel lonely. They begin to believe that their inner world doesn't deserve to be seen at all. So they hide it. They perform instead of sharing. They entertain instead of connecting. They give endlessly, exhaustingly, because receiving feels too dangerous. If you see yourself in that description, I want to ask you something honestly. When was the last time you let someone fully in? Not the curated version of you. Not the strong version. Not the version that has it together. The real one. The tired one. The one that still carries things nobody knows about. That version of you deserves connection too. Now here's what I want you to carry with you after this video. You can't rewrite your childhood. You can't go back and make someone love you the way you needed to be loved. But you can do something more powerful than that. You can interrupt the pattern. You can learn to notice when your nervous system is reacting to the past instead of responding to the present. You can build the capacity, slowly, imperfectly, to let safe people actually be safe. To let kindness land instead of deflecting it. To need something and ask for it without shame. The child in you deserved better. That is simply true. But the adult in you, the one watching this right now, they have something that child never had. Choice. And choice, even a small one, is how healing starts. It starts with understanding yourself deeply enough to stop apologizing for wounds you didn't ask for. It starts with the willingness to be honest, not just with the people around you, but with yourself. Because you cannot heal what you keep performing over. And maybe, just maybe, watching this video today was not an accident. Maybe something in you is ready. Ready to stop surviving in patterns that were never yours to begin with. Ready to start building something that actually feels like home. Not the home you grew up in, but the one you always deserved. If this video reached something real inside you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. A friend. A sibling. Someone you know is carrying this quietly. And if you want to go deeper into attachment, trauma, and the psychology of human behavior every single week, subscribe. This is what we build here. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are just, finally, beginning to see clearly. And that is everything.